Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Good evening. You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds. The MK Dons radio show that was described this week by none other than Alex Salmond as being his main reason for his desperate need for independence. Well, thanks very much for that, Alex, but try as hard as we have, we can't really find the confidence vote in there anywhere, so better luck next time, eh? We're going to kick off our show tonight by saying that this is Ride. Turn script to right page. That was Twister by Ride, and I'm sure you'll agree it was rather delightful. You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds, the show that does for the MK Dons what Anthony K passing sideways does for the MK Dons as well. I'm Brando, the man of whom it was said this week, what the hell is going on with that beard? You look like a fat George Galloway. So hi, I'm delighted to have with me the man whose musical taste is a constant source of entertainment and hilarity, at least until he makes you listen to it. So say hi, modders.
By the grace of some deity, good evening.
Yes, we'll perhaps talk about that in a second. I'm delighted. Oh, and lastly, I'm joined by the man whose approach to women appears to be entirely encompassed in the phrase, bored, inbox me. Say hi, young Albie.
God, if ever there was a way to make me sound like Lieutenant Dan's younger brother, I must say it does work. I do actually engage in conversation with human female beings.
I think you should tell us more. Go on. No, fair enough.
No, that's not.
If you've been engaged by young Albie in conversation late at night on Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere else, then do get in touch and let us know. Is he a human being? Does he treat you in a
Shona
respectful
from Bletchley
fashion?
is one of my favourites.
Dear Shona and Dion, yeah, it could be a fight. Okay, look, just like BBC correspondent Nick Robinson when he's asked Alex Salmond a question, what you think is important to us. So, Modders, can you please tell the boys and girls, the lords and ladies, how to get in touch with us, please?
I can indeed. You can contact us by hiring a grey-suited psychologist to get your point across in an ever so slightly intense manner. You can come third in the BBC Sports Team of the Day public poll, or you can use more conventional methods. You can contact us on Facebook, and we're at facebook.com/the MooCamp. You can tweet us, and we're using the hashtag #TheMooCamp during the show. You can email us at radio@moocamp.com. You can text 80085, but remember to start your message with "can't relax even at 5-0 up, or else it won't reach us." You can grab our attention by driving directly towards us the wrong way down a dual carriageway, or you can text direct to the studio on 07848 930 396.
Okay, right, so coming up on this week's show, we'll be talking about the Barnsley match, including a gauge and just how uncomfortable it all was starting to feel at 5-3, even though we were about 3 minutes into stoppage time. We'll talk about the Bradford match last night, regrettably, and we'll also start to probably discuss whether Luke Ashmead is in fact Jesus. We'll fix George Baldock's rubbish song and give you, yes, you, the chance to name a roundabout. Ooh. Very exciting stuff.
The chance to name a roundabout, well, that just sounds fantastic. Okay. Probably time to press the button.
This just in. MK Dons are set to introduce a new training regime this week, and it has the working title of Playing to the Whistle, or 90 Minutes in a Game. Carl Robinson spoke briefly after the 5-3 victory at Barnsley, saying his new training programme was needed, as Plan B of scoring more than the opposition is beginning to look in jeopardy. More on this when we let a 6-goal lead go.
It's time for the question of the week.
The question of the week this week was a simple one. How many goals would we have to score before you'd be happy that even we couldn't throw it away? And how long would you want left? We've had a number of responses in. Paul Harris said 7-0 with 30 seconds left. Jack Grubner.
His name is Jack Grobbins.
Jack. I don't know why I struggle with his name every week. Jack Grobbins. Can you remember why we started saying his name?
Because he said we said it right.
But there was something after that. He said, I think he criticised us somewhere on Twitter or something like that.
Oh, that'll be it then.
After he congratulated us on being the only people in the world who ever said his name right, he then had the temerity to challenge us in some way. So,
fool.
Sorry, Jack.
the gauntlet was thrown. Do you throw a gauntlet or drop? What do you do with a gauntlet?
You slap one, don't you?
The gauntlet was slapped. That sounds great. Right. Yes, all right. So Joke Griebner said he would say 2 with 10 to go, but we all know what happened at Sunderland, so 5 is the magic number. Carl from MK1 says I'm with Paul Harris, 7-0 with 30 seconds left. Alex Hendy says my general rule with the Dons is we need to be 3 up before I believe we won't throw it away. We're an optimistic bunch, aren't we?
We are, aren't we?
Pete from MK1 says Milton Keynes is a very can-do sort of place. Thanks for that, Pete. Yeah, appreciate that. Greg Scott tweets, if playing Man United, then 4 goals up with 1 minute left would do. Fingernails would still take a gnashing, though. And Dawn from Luton says, come on you Hatters, though we're not exactly sure why.
Roundabout of the week. It's the MooCamp, it's the MooCamp roundabout of the week.
As you know, each week on the MooCamp Radio Show, I go out to see what's happening at one of the 3,426 roundabouts in Milton Keynes, and I pick one at random to describe to you in all its splendour. Well, I haven't done that this week, because this week we've got something rather special for you. Milton Keynes Council's Roundabout Naming Committee have decreed upon this very radio show the ability to name an as yet unnamed roundabout. Yep, you heard it right.
That's exciting.
Here's your chance to have a roundabout named after you. Well, not after you, but after something that you decide to call it. The roundabout to name is the little, insignificant square one slap bang in the middle of Oxley Park. And why it's there, we've got no idea. So, if you want to name the roundabout, get sending us your suggestions via the usual channels. We'll bring you an update later in the show.
I should have been ready, shouldn't I? Bearing in mind
that delay is getting longer, isn't it?
It is. It's almost like I have to go and find the file, make the file. Yeah, okay.
Right, so I have some text in. One of them is from Shona from Bletchley, who texted in saying, I looked out for you on the television and I still couldn't see you, but I still do love you, Albie. Oh. Justin from Loftus Road texts, at least we scored 2 against you. Ash from Connerborough texted in asking when if we can play Barnsley every week, or Manchester United, or AFC. Pauline from Pottersbury texts in, just like last season, we can't seem to find the back of the net, Robbo out. And finally, Danny from Leighton Buzzard said, I've never been to an away match apart from Wembley. Starting to think about going. Is it any good?
Excellent one. We've got a few things flying in on Twitter as well, which I'll pick out. Lieutenant Dan says, for the question of the week, at least 75 goals ahead with 30 seconds left, which is fair enough. John Taylor says, not tuning in tonight, fellas, watching the footy on the telly, but best of luck to you fellas any road. I don't know, I mean, I like the fact that he's taking the time to write, but I'm a bit disappointed in that, to be fair. All the music's just run out, I should remember to loop it. Let me see what else we've got. You mentioned one earlier on. Yeah, okay. Diane said, I have other commitments with a hot baker. The only roundabout I remember is Stacey Bush's anyway. Yeah, okay. we did have a conversation at one point. Who exactly was Stacey Bush's, but I don't think she quit it. Don't think that was very sensible.
I think that one might already be named anyway, then, mightn't it?
Yeah.
Probably Stacey Bush's.
That's the one, yeah. Where does Stacey Bush's come from? Does anyone know?
I don't think anybody really wants to know.
Yeah.
I've also just got a text in from Albie's dad in Shenley, which says, why are you reading the script so quickly?
So quickly, okay, interesting. You know what we said in the kitchen about how we were going to slow things... Sorry, in the green room. About how we were going to slow things down and just take our time with it this week instead of rushing to try and get everything in.
It's going well, isn't it?
I'm rather impressed with it so far. If you're enjoying the show, please let us know. If you're not, then watch the Great British Bake Off. Instead, let's talk football. Should we talk football?
Let's.
We've had a couple of matches. The first one of which that we need to talk through was Barnsley. Hand?
Lack of hand, unfortunately. Although I did listen to it in my shed, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing as travelling the Yorkshire and back.
Well,
sitting in your shed.
Yeah. Listening to it on the radio.
Okay.
No hand.
No hand. Okay, so that's... Are you claiming a hand for this? You are, aren't you?
Yeah, why not? Fair enough. Isn't that how football's supposed to be nowadays? You know, we're past the, flat caps and cigars, etc.
And going to matches.
Yeah, and going to matches.
Such rubbish.
You know, we have to sit in our sheds listening to Soccer Saturday and whatever, and commentaries. Although the match did sound rather entertaining.
It was an entertaining match. I mean, I went on the coach, which...
That's a first.
It's not first.
It's the first time I've heard about you being on a coach.
It's because you were in your shed.
Fair enough.
Oh, I've just realised it wasn't Lieutenant Dan. Sorry, apologies. This is another Dan. I just took it. I'm really apologising for that. I said Lieutenant Dan said 75 goals ahead with 30 seconds left, and it's actually Dippy Don 95, who was also a Dan, but not a lieutenant. If you have a rank, please let us know, and we will rechristen you. But apologies for that. That really is unfair.
Mark Randall's best friend, otherwise known.
Okay, you can perhaps explain that later. Yeah, all right. Went on the coach. Usual sort of... actually, I slept half the way up there. It's great. I spent half the time writing stuff for this and half the time sleeping. Fantastic. Can't argue about that.
Were the windows clean by the time you got there?
I don't understand people who criticise the coach. They've clearly never been on it because it's full of wonderful, relaxed, good-natured people, none of whom made idiots of themselves and get annoying at all.
Are they the sort of people who, hang around with me in the lexicon.